Hey folks, Alpaglisi Trains over at Bob Johnson's West Virginia Midland Railroad, and it's an open house day, so Bob is busy with some visitors. And in the meantime, I will videotape this layout for you. It's very impressive. The trees appear to be wild hydrangea. Get a crow flies. Absolutely beautiful scenery. Many exquisite scenes, beautifully done. Beautiful, beautiful modeling. Beautiful log cars. And we were talking about, we knew Harry Clark. I knew him,
Yeah.
and you knew him. And let's talk about the wild hydrangea. If you want to tell me about the wild hydrangea.
Wild hydrangea. Harry figured a way to make trees out of it that at the time I thought were some of the best trees I'd seen. There are probably some better out there now, but not that you can make in any volume for the cost.
Right. And I can't find it.
It's getting harder and harder to find.
I found a big deposit up at the Catoctin Mountain. What is it? There's a lake there everybody goes to. It's off Route 15 near Camp David. I forgot the name of it.
Cunningham Falls.
Yes, Cunningham Falls.
I found some up there.
But it's gone.
Yeah, it grows on the north-facing slopes, boundary between sun and shade on disturbed soil.
And
and once other crops, it comes in early and then it gets crowded out by other crops. So you used to be able to find a lot along railroad grades.
Oh yeah.
I've got all I need.
This is beautiful. Again, folks, if you recognize these trees, they're the wild hydrangea, Harry Clark. Absolutely. When I saw this when I first walked in the door, I had just about fell on my
That's the raw
face. Yep.
Raw feedstock.
And you got a nice little bag there. See, I collected for 25 years. I'd get what I could.
And
What do you use?
Oh yeah,
There's
you've
some
got.
processed but not assembled.
Yes. Yes.
What do you use to dye them?
Well, I mean, I just use
I s-
tempera paints or
I
spray paint.
use the cheapest green enamel spray paint I can
Yep.
find.
Yep. Oh
I
boy.
spray the tops with the green. I spray the top with the green paint,
Mm-hmm.
then flip it over and spray the bottom with the brown paint.
Mm-hmm.
Then while the paint's still wet, roll it in fine ground foam rubber. And I use 3 different shades of foam rubber so that the trees didn't all come out the same colors. And sometimes I even mix them in the same tree.
Mm. This is beautiful.
Right.
Is this?
Here's a map.
Okay. So the line that goes in here comes out
Alright.
over there?
All right. First, what B&O Railroad staging.
Okay.
This represents Grafton, West Virginia, or Buchanan, depending on how you want to look at it.
Mm-hmm.
Comes around here and interchanges with the West Virginia Midland,
Okay.
and then the B&O goes through the tunnel onto Cali, which is also staging.
Okay.
Midland line, basically all traffic, everything goes to Webster Springs, or it's made up into locals that goes back outward. It goes through that tunnel, loops around and comes down that far, down that valley,
Okay.
back up around, and comes out on top up there by the trestle,
Okay.
around on the upper level here, around and into Webster Springs.
Okay.
And then all these different little branches are theoretically spread out off it.
And then the B&O just loops back.
B&O is just a
to-
loop. The other end we have staging going into what represents the Western Maryland at Laurel Bank.
Okay.
I don't know if you're familiar with Laurel Bank or not,
Interesting.
but Laurel Bank you will not find on a map.
What?
Laurel Bank on a map shows a town of Slady Fork, West Virginia.
Oh, it shows us the Slady Fork.
Shows it as Slady Fork. But the railroad called it Laurel Bank. Don't ask me why.
So, was this the beginning of the layout that you built here, or was this a later when you started this section?
This is probably the oldest section of the railroad right here.
Uh-huh. Down in here. It's beautiful.
And that's been moved twice.
Oh, goodness. And you were saying you used a hybrid system of lens, DCC?
It's a lens system with a CVP wireless overlay.
Oh, wow.
Because Lens would not redesign their wireless system to satisfy the SCC.
Hmm.
And for a short time, they had a system available where you could use a cell phone to operate.
Mm-hmm.
But that didn't catch. You had to buy an adapter, and that didn't catch on.
Oh, my goodness.
So everything from this point on is a switchback from there.
What now?
Everything on this section around the upper.
All right,
the
let's
main
pause it.
coming
No,
out.
this is
From that tunnel,
no. Main goes in that tunnel and comes out right on the other side.
right on the other side. Okay.
Makes a dog bone loop inside.
Okay.
This is beautiful scenery.
We use a large 3-truck shay.
Uh-huh.
Take 8 cars down, switch the mine, and double the hill coming back up.
Oh, boy.
Because my loads are live loads.
Oh, are they?
Yeah, I use a product called Black Beauty,
Mm-hmm.
which is a very coarse sandblasting material.
Okay.
It makes beautiful model coal, and it's cheap.
Now, because it's a heavy load and this is a steep grade, does it cause any damage to the gears on the locomotives? Because I know.
But no, because you'll spin your wheels.
Okay. Because I know I know the Bachmann Spectrum shays had bad
Yeah.
gears and they all went bad on me.
Right. Well, they did that whether you used them or not.
Okay.
They do that just sitting in the box.
Yeah, I found that out the
Wow.
hard way. This mine, is this a prototype or is this a...
No.
It's-
That is kit bash from 2 Walters New River coal mine kits plus some
Uh-huh.
other parts. I took two New River kits and built that.
Mm-hmm. I love it.
Then with some of the parts that were left, I built the crusher house at the stone quarry.
Mm-hmm.
And then with some more of the parts that were left, plus some leftover for some other kits, I built the slack house at the coke ovens. So I basically got 3 structures out of 2 kits.
Wow. Those coke ovens remind me. Harry used to have a lot of beautiful coke ovens. You built these from scratch, these coke ovens?
I had a mold for a two bank.
Uh-huh.
I didn't catch the
They're
narrow gauge.
Absolutely
Lorry.
beautiful.
I
So
didn't catch the narrow gauge lorry.
so you'll notice the steel rails reinforcing the walls. That covers the joints between the castings.
Wow. Oh yeah. Yeah. I never noticed that.
There's 20 ovens there. A big coke operation in West Virginia would have 200 to 400 ovens.
Oh my goodness.
But, you know, for modeling purposes, 20 makes a good size looking industry, so.
I love this. Pause.
Lines operationally all static.
It's all static.
Okay.
That's in-scale track with every other tie cut out and thrown removed.
I like the muddy water here. I like this. This is
The acid water.
yeah. It's very real.
I grew up with that water. I know what it looks
Jim,
like.
this isn't mud water. Then it's acid. You say it's like an acid water?
It's iron sulfate.
I thought it was like red clay water or
No.
something. I don't know.
That explains the color.
When they mine the coal and expose the coal to air,
Mm-hmm.
if there's any iron if there's any sulfur in the coal, it would react with the moisture in the air and form sulfurous acid, H2SO3.
Mm-hmm.
Sulfurous acid would react with any iron in the coal and form iron sulfite, which is a clear soluble liquid.
Mm-hmm.
And then as it mixed further with oxygen, it would decompose it would further react into iron sulfate, which is the orange color and is not soluble in water.
Mm.
And it would get washed out of the mines and go down and deposit out as red deposits down the creek beds.
My goodness gracious. Yeah. This is a little detail that I almost overlooked, and it's beautiful.
The one I'm mauling was originally at Benton's Ferry, West Virginia.
Yeah, because it just wasn't practical for the rail store out every morning.
But,
This is a beautiful packing company. This is a kit bash.
that's a kit bash from Wilters,
Geo Roberts or whatever that kit was they
I
had.
believe it was,
Yeah.
Roberts.
Yeah.
The boiler house is from the Golden Valley Cannery.
Uh-huh.
The addition on the end is scratch built. The loading ramps are scratch. The cattle ramp going up is scratch built.
Mm-hmm.
The cooling tower on the roof is scratch built.
That big unit, is that an
Green
AC?
unit, yeah.
That's,
The latest modern self-contained cooling tower.
I love it. This is beautiful.
It was hunted around online and found some pictures of some earlier carrier units dating to the early 50s and said, oh, that looks close. So
The colors are beautiful, and it's
the be stock pins here, but I haven't done them yet because I'm still working on stuff behind. I didn't want to have to work over the stock pin.
Mhm. Did you paint this backdrop? This backdrop's
No,
beautiful.
a friend of mine did.
Uh-huh.
A guy named Larry Snook out of Hagerstown painted that.
It's gorgeous. And the clouds, look at the beautiful backdrop on this. And this is an interesting scene down here.
Oh, the pole floating?
Yeah.
Hancock, West Virginia, on the Western Maryland.
Holy cow.
Where the inspiration for that.
Yep. And I see you.
When you
How-
went across the bridge into
Uh-huh.
West Virginia, you used to be able to look down on there was a pole floating dock down there that was more or less set up like that.
How long did it take you to build this Tichy crane?
What?
Did you build that crane as a
Oh,
kit?
the
Yeah.
Rucker crane?
Yeah. Boy, that's
a
a
long time.
yeah. That's why I asked. That's a hard thing to build. It's just not a regular old crane, folks. It's a work of art.
So then we'll have Slavey Chemical, which is used to run tank cars in here, basically.
Okay.
What they theoretically do is they bring in tank cars of solvents and all, and blend them and repackage them as soaps and cleaning solutions and things like that. So we get bulk tank car loads in, and we ship out barrels and drums and cans of finished product. So you have boxcars bringing in empty containers and boxcars shipping out filled containers. And then you have the tank cars coming in. Next to it's going to be a fuel and oil dealer. And then the next to that's the machinery manufacturer.
Kirschner Engineering.
Kirschner Engineering, yeah.
Yeah.
Marv Kirschner was a modeler that died years ago, but he was the manufacturing engineer at Mack Truck in Hagerstown.
Oh wow.
And so that's going to be a kit bash mingle of 3 different Wolfers kits.
I can't wait to see it when it's
That's
done.
Vulcan Founder, I think it was.
Yeah.
That's Allied Rail Rebuilders, which is going to be turn into a low relief background building. Then the yard crane will be in the bridge crane will be in the yard there.
Wow. And this is Webster County Farm Co-op here. I like the way you did that with the building going into it looks really well done. How the building,
Yeah.
It really does. And this is an old Magnuson Models, isn't it, this guy over here? Yeah.
Fireproof warehouse.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah. She's a pretty one. Now, does this have a prototype, this Webster County, or no?
Not that I know of.
I'll bet, it looks like
It's
many you see.
a guy that at least has been dead for years. The guy lived in Morgantown, West Virginia, built that.
Wow.
And when he died, I got that building off his layout.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah.
And then
Ooh.
right here's this ice house. Right here, there's going to be a loading dock, a very short, 1-car long icing stage.
Okay.
With a old bale conveyor going from that to get the ice up. No fancy elevators, but just get an old farm bale conveyor. And the whole purpose of it is to ice and pre-cool reefers before they go to the meatpacking plant.
Wow.
So in operating sessions, when you get an order to spot a reefer at the meatpacking plant, you have to first send it to the ice house for 2 hours time on the fast clock.
Okay.
To be iced and pre-cooled before you then transfer it down to the meatpacking plant.
Oh yeah, that's neat.
What sort of operations do you run? What sort of operating sessions do you run?
Timetable train order.
Jonathan Crater, did you scratch build this one?
No.
I've never seen this.
That came from
Jeff Grove or Jeff Grove? No, I know Jeff.
No. I'm having a senior moment.
That's okay.
He just tore his layout down as moving down to Norfolk.
Oh my goodness.
Or Virginia.
And this big Linger Chair Company.
Yeah, that's a kit bash from the Wolfers printing company.
The backdrop, the way it dives down like that, man, this is spectacular.
The 4-bay wide section was originally the front of the building. But the center bay had a large public door in it, so I cut that bay completely out and squeezed it down to only 4 bays wide.
Wow.
So that's the back of the building, the front of the building, and the rest of the building is a sheet of plywood.
It doesn't matter what the back is,
right?
Yeah, he did a beautiful.
Look at this drawer here.
And then
that little town in the back is exquisite.
That represents Cherry Falls, West Virginia.
And that sits on top of the reversing loop. That sits on top of the reversing loop.
Right.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Which is also staging. We don't use it as a reversing loop in operations. We stage a train in there.
Okay.
And in between sessions, we bring it out through the reverse loop fiddle it and back it back into the tunnel. So theoretically, there's a coal mine up there. I've even got the stuff to do it.
Mhm.
But I've never gotten around to it. There's also a hidden reverse loop out the other end.
Wow.
And my thought has always been to put what do you call them? Hairs. Put hairs on them.
Mhm.
And automate them
Yeah.
so that you can basically run reverse loop to reverse loop and just let a train run continuously between the reverse loops.
Gotcha.
This engine house is absolutely beautiful. Is this one of your designs, or this engine house? It's beautiful. Is this one of your
No,
designs,
that's
or?
the Wolfish kit.
Oh no, I mean as far as there's no prototype or anything. It's just
No, it's just a Wolfish kit that's been.
you've done such a good job of it. You never know it was a Walther's kit. It's beautiful. Now, what area is this engine area called? Is this the West Virginia? What is this?
Virginia-
Cherry Falls?
That's the Cherry Falls shops, West Virginia Midland Railroad and Cherry Falls shops.
And you have quite a few beautiful brass pieces here. Are these old PFM?
Most of them are old PFM.
Oh, they run great. Yeah.
The big shay is the big Western Maryland shay is
A key.
I believe that's a key.
Yeah. That's might be what, number 6, Western Maryland, a big key. Maybe. Now that mallet in there, is that a PFM? What is it? A logging mallet?
No, that's a Denver and Salt Lake.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Let me show you this.
Yeah.
Looks like B&O has trackage rights up to Cherry Falls.
Limited.
Did you have to do a lot of rework to this? This thing's like glass.
Those engines had 3 separate gearbox sets of gears in them.
Uh-huh.
They were all adjustable. And when they came from the factory, they didn't run with the dirt.
Right, that's why I'm bringing this
But
up.
if you just went in there and very carefully adjusted each of the 3 gearbox sets, that's all you had to do to them.
Holy
In
moly.
fact, I got that used from another guy that said it wouldn't run, and he was tired of fiddling with it. And it probably took about 3-4 hours of fiddling to get it to run right,
Wow.
and that was it.
Yeah, I've heard they require a lot of fiddling to get them to run, and folks, it's so smooth you can't even hear the slightest gear noise. What a treat.
That engine's sole purpose is to work the big coal mine.
Is that the one you use for the grade?
Yeah, I'd say we take 8 empties down,
Uh-huh.
bring 4 up, double the hill, bring 4 more up.
Wow. I really appreciate you letting me film this, and
Yeah, you were talking about Jeff Grove a while ago.
yes,
This
yes.
is one of his kits. It's going to go there,
Oh,
and then that's one of his kits
Okay.
back there. That's going to go against in there.
oh. Well, Jeff, hello. I'm sure you're going to watch this video, and again, thanks for letting me film this. This is absolutely beautiful.